What's your name and title?
I'm Haley Bryant. I'm a principal at Hustle Fund.
What inspired you to pursue a career in venture capital?
I sort of fell into it after over a decade operating startups, running Apple stores, started angel investing, and found my way here.
Can you share a pivotal moment in your life or career that influenced your approach to investing?
Probably every time I quit a job and started something new with a 50% pay cut. I'm used to taking bets on myself and love getting to bet on other people.
What is one thing about your background that people might find surprising?
I'm a single mom and I'm a cycling instructor.
How do you define success in your role as a VC?
Helping founders pursue their dreams.
What excites you the most about the state of the startup ecosystem?
This is the best time to be investing in startups. The people that are in it right now are building because they have to build, they have to create. It's great to be able to support them.
How do you balance risk-taking with due diligence when evaluating potential investments?
We know, according to CB Insights, 90% of startups fail, so there is a lot of risk, especially at the stage we play at. We invest very early. We try to learn more about the founders, the markets we're investing in, but no, they could pivot, things could go wrong. So we're always trying to balance both, but no, there's a lot of risk involved.
Can you share a lesson you've learned from a failed investment?
Yeah, one of the things I've learned from a failed investment is the challenge that a lot of founders have with fundraisability, which is why I like to understand if a founder will be able to keep building, even if they aren't able to be funded by outside investors, being able to be customer funded until they can get to that obvious point.
What role do you see yourself playing in the growth and development of the companies you invest in?
I'm used to working at startups and wearing any or every hat. Customer success, content marketing, ops, product management. But often I'm a sounding board for founders. I want to be the first call when things aren't going well because I've been there many times myself as an operator.
How do you stay informed about emerging trends and technologies in the industry?
I read a lot. I talk to a lot of people, VCs, founders, SMEs, just real people about their problems. I also write a lot. Can never consume too much.
Can you discuss a time that you had to pivot your investment strategy and what led to that decision?
Well, my pivot happened as an angel investor when I was just doing a lot of spraying and praying, investing in all kinds of sectors, all kinds of stages, all kinds of geos. Just the importance of being a lot more focused. So getting really disciplined on valuation, getting really disciplined on what sectors I know a lot about, which ones are not capital intensive, and the types of founders that I want to serve, ultimately founders from and or supporting underserved communities.
Can you share a memorable interaction you've had with an entrepreneur?
Sure. A couple of weeks ago, I got to meet a founder who was formerly a journalist and stumbled upon a really interesting insight in the liquidation industry during her time as an entrepreneur based out of Chicago and Iowa. And I learned so much on that call. I got off the call, wrote a memo, and made an investment decision just a couple of days later.
What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs seeking funding?
I would do the work to get to the starting line before you go out and talk to investors. So things like doing your customer research to make sure the idea makes sense for people beyond you, your warm network, doing the market research to see how big the market is, how crowded it is, and then building an MVP, even if it's no code, low code, or self-service to start.
How do you prioritize ethical considerations when making investment decisions?
There are certain industries that we just don't invest in, and I care a lot about a founder's integrity. At the earliest stages, we don't have a lot to go off of. There's a lot of data, so being able to trust the person that you're working with to tell you the truth. I love it when I ask a question about like defensibility, and the founder's like, I'm just not sure yet. I'd love your help figuring it out. That is really important to me, so I try to get to the meat of that very early in relationships.
What do you think is the biggest misconception people have about venture capital?
That it's for every business. Venture is in vogue as of late, but really there's so many great ways to build a business. I often ask founders if they'd rather own 10% of a $100 million a year business or 100% of a $10 million a year business.
What motivates you to consider investing in startups despite the inherent risks involved?
Great people, unsolved problems, huge markets.
Can you share a piece of advice that has stuck with you throughout your career?
Follow through. My last boss talked a lot about the importance of follow-up. Time kills deals. That could be in investing, that could be in sales. Do what you're going to say. You say you're going to do. Trust is the most important thing, especially at the earliest stages.
What is one thing you wish more entrepreneurs knew about the VC perspective?
That's a really good question. I wish that more entrepreneurs knew how VCs think, and were more focused on how they target VCs. So just like some VCs will spray and pray, some founders will spray and pray, trying to get in front of every possible VC instead of doing more of an account-based marketing strategy where they're going after very specific VCs that are aligned with not just the type of business they're building, but who they are and what they want in support from the team around them.
Can you share a passion project or a hobby you enjoy outside of work?
It's sort of work-related, but I love to write. It's a forcing function to read. I read a lot, especially in the holidays and summer when I have a little bit more free time. So I spend a lot of time writing, and it's a great way to stay connected to community and people I care about.
How do you perceive the unique opportunities and challenges presented by the startup ecosystem in Northwest Arkansas compared to other regions?
I think that Northwest Arkansas has a lot of the same challenges that we see in regions outside of San Francisco, New York, Boston, where a lot of talent is still overlooked, but I actually see that as more of an opportunity than as a problem. One of the great things about Northwest Arkansas is the collaboration environment and all of the resources that are compiled together to make people successful early.
In what ways do you see the presence of major corporations like Walmart influencing the startup landscape in Northwest Arkansas? And how does that factor into your investment strategy?
Having access to a major corporate as a testing bed, as an early partner for customer discovery is a game changer. I think we'll see similar things out of Bentonville and other areas of Northwest Arkansas that we've seen out of Seattle with the presence of other major corporates.
How do you envision the future of innovation and entrepreneurship evolving in Northwest Arkansas, particularly in sectors like retail technology and supply chain innovation?
There's endless potential here as Northwest Arkansas is able to connect more amazing entrepreneurs to corporates and accelerate the process of building startups.
Can you discuss a challenge you faced in your career and how you overcame it?
A challenge I had in my career when I was at Animals, the content marketing agency, was scaling that business and letting hiring happen ahead of demand and all the challenges that came in managing the P&L during that experience. I sought a lot of outside help, built a model with the help of a team, and got a better handle on how to balance supply and demand, and now use that learning to support founders as they're thinking about when to hire and how to run a business in a capital efficient way.